With Real Madrid confirmed this week as the MLS All-Star Game opponents this summer in Chicago, we'll take you to the Windy City to see if the Fire could remain unbeaten at home when they face New England. And we find out how the reigning champions fared on the road in a Cascadia Cup clash in Vancouver. But we start in the Sunshine State. The brand new Orlando City Stadium is rapidly becoming a fortress.
How about that for a housewarming gift, all wrapped up in purple?
3 games and 3 wins in the Purple Palace for the Lions. Next to visit Central Florida, LA Galaxy.
This place becoming more and more difficult to come here and get points.
Commentary comes from Clive Allen and Nigel Adderley.
Rivas with a free kick. Barnes is there! And somehow it's cleared away. What an astonishing miss. And what an escape for LA Galaxy when both Spector and Barnes look certain to score.
That is a brilliant block from Van Dam.
Hulk over the top, and that could be a very good ball. And the early shot is a wonderful goal. And Orlando are off and running once again at home.
Well, it's been a fast start from the home team, and that really is a spectacular strike. Magnificent right foot volley into the far corner.
Rivas providing the width once again. And he comes in field, and it's Rivas with the effort. Oh, he's so unlucky. And that would have been a picture book goal. Van Dam losing out to Rivas. Lauren again is waiting in the centre. Can Rivas find him? He does find Barnes, and Diop was superb.
Wonderful save from the goalkeeper. He knows he's going to get contact from the on-rushing Barnes, but he makes a really brave save.
Can Dos Santos reignite his season here? Oh, he's so unlucky off the crossbar. Zardes, Steres off the line, and Bendik somehow gets it out.
He's had a touch from Bendix, and then look at this from Spector using all his experience to get back on the line. Goalkeeper appreciates that cover.
That's a good ball to pick out Alessandrini. Wriggles into space and finds the leveller. Romain Alessandrini strikes again for the Galaxy.
Well, he picks up the ball in an area where he's dangerous. He gets it absolutely perfect. No keeper is going to stop that.
Johnson with the corner. Larin! And the home streak looks set to continue. A dramatic finish. Orlando City beating LA Galaxy by 2 goals to 1.
The 2 Gregs, Columbus's Berhalter and Toronto's Vanni, led their teams into a Week 7 Eastern Conference showdown in Ohio. And it was the Crew who threatened early through Federico Higuain. Midway through the first half, it was Toronto who found the inside of the net via the head of Jozy Altidore for his 3rd goal of the season. Altidore's teammate Sebastian Giovinco has yet to hit the heights of his first 2 seasons in MLS, though that's not for lack of effort. Zach Steffen's diving save from the Italian kept Columbus within striking distance of TFC. 15 minutes after falling behind, Crew SC found an equalizer, Ola Kamara with his 4th goal of the season, and he's pretty fired up about that. Almost immediately, Toronto pressed to retake the lead, but Armando Cooper's drive and Giovinco's rebound were repelled by Columbus. A frenetic 6-minute spell in the latter stages of the first half ended with Justin Meram putting Columbus in front with his 4th goal in 4 games. Toronto had yet to lose in MLS play this season and fought to keep their unbeaten record intact. Victor Vasquez should have tested Steffen, and even when Nick Haglund did force the keeper into action, it was a routine save, as Berhalter's team ended the week where they started, on top of the Eastern Conference standings. The Montreal Impact were still without a win this season, but there was no sense of panic as they welcomed Atlanta United. 4 of their first 5 games had been away from home. Ignacio Piatti was on hand to pull the strings early on, forcing a good save out of Alec Khan. Tata Martino has brought a real imagination to Atlanta, and that was evident when a clever free kick routine gave Jeff Larentowicz a golden chance. Both sides were playing well, both creating chances, and Khan made another good save, this time denying Callum Malice before Atlanta finally did make the breakthrough. Hector Villalba providing a precise pass, and Kenwin Jones running through to score his first MLS goal in his first MLS start. Late in first half stoppage time though, a turning point. Mateo Mancosu got his body into an awkward position for Leonardo Gonzalez Perez. Referee Alan Kelly pulled out a red card and pointed to the penalty spot. It was left to Piatti to convert the penalty, and he did so comfortably. Atlanta reorganized and defended well with 10 men, but the Impact kept pushing and pushing, going for the win. Piatti driving it over the bar in the 81st minute. Montreal winner came from an unlikely source. The ball fell to Hernan Bernardello, and his shot was flicked into the opposite corner by substitute Anthony Jackson Amel for only his second MLS goal. Montreal's first game this season at Stade Saputo ended in a precious first victory. The New York Red Bulls and DC United were in the bottom half of the Eastern Conference ahead of their meeting at Red Bull Arena. Some uncharacteristic finishing by 2-time Golden Boot winner Bradley Wright Phillips here, and a wayward effort at the other end from DC captain Steve Birnbaum there. Red Bulls midfielder Daniel Royer at least hit the target in the first half, but it was his teammate Alex Muil who finally broke through less than a minute into the second half. First goal of the season for the 21-year-old. Despite being a defender, Birnbaum was DC United's main source of chances, this one far closer than his effort in the first half. Birnbaum popped up again from the resulting corner, only to narrowly fail once again. Sensing Ben Olsen's team were close to an equalizer, the Red Bulls struck a timely blow. Shortly after the hour mark, Wright Phillips fired between the legs of Bill Hamid to extend the home team's advantage. Luis Robles was less generous at the other end when keeping out a shot from substitute Sebastian Letou. The Red Bulls are now unbeaten in their last 17 regular season games at home. New York City FC have had some ups and downs to start the season, while winless Philadelphia Union had lost their last 3 and needed something to happen. All that was happening early on was pressure from the visitors. Jack Harrison's shot saved here by Andre Blake. The Union showed some spark, but nothing seemed to come from any of it. On another day, Alejandro Bedoya's sizzling drive might have found its way past Sean Johnson. New York City were a constant threat and felt they should have had a penalty in the 30th minute. David Villa's shot seemingly blocked by the arm of Richie Marquez. Maxi Morales' follow-up saved by Blake, and a replay suggested that referee Jose Carlos Rivero could easily have pointed to the spot. 7 minutes into the second half, Ronald Matarrita picked out Harrison, and the visitors went in front, the Englishman finishing off what the Costa Ricans started. Patrick Vieira's team started to turn on the style, and when Morales found Villa late in the game, the Spaniard probably should have made it too. That failure, though, was forgiven and forgotten as we headed towards extra time, when New York City's captain simply took everyone's breath away with a gravity-defying goal for the ages. Safe to say, if there's a better goal this season, then we're in for quite a treat. It's showtime in Chicago. And Veljko Paunovic has assembled an all-star cast to light up the fire. Sharing the bill, the New England Revolution's own stellar lineup. The The stage was set in the Windy City. David Brutton and Dan Roebuck have the call.
An option on the right-hand side here with Harrington. Full inside the penalty area. Solignac! Chicago Fire fans can't quite believe it. Who was offside?
There's not a single Chicago Fire player initially offside. It's the second movement, isn't it? I mean, does Nikolic need to touch it?
Nikolic doesn't touch it. Solignac scores, doesn't he?
The thing is that an innate striker's reaction to a ball coming in front of the goal?
Now then, was there a stray elbow here? The referee has got across very quickly indeed. We're going to see a yellow card. I'd like to see it again, because if it is an elbow, surely it's got to be red here, but it is Watson that gets penalised.
Both players flailing the arms as well, isn't it? It's coming together, 50-50 challenge.
This is Harrington. Can he get the cross in again? He can. It's towards Nikolic. Well, 5 players demanding that the ball go out now. Now then, is Watson going to be in trouble? He is going to be in trouble, because this is a second yellow card to Javon Watson. We've had just 26.5 minutes. And the Jamaican, he's been yellow carded for the second time, and you have to say, when you see it again from that angle, I think the referee's got no option.
It's completely indefensible. It's a ridiculous challenge.
Juninho again. Through towards Schweinsteiger here. First touch is good, and still Schweinsteiger! That is sensational! Brilliant touch, and an unerring finish into the corner. That's what he can bring to Chicago Fire.
Look at him there, not picked up at all. Wonderful reverse pass, but he's got still so much to do going into the edge of the 6-yard box. He's got quick feet. I thought he was going to draw the foul from Rowe, but elects to take the shot on. That's his class.
Solignac. Nikolic calling for it. Here is Solignac to get a low ball into Leo! And Nikolic! Nikolic has nicked in, and the Fire have got their second.
Again, it's defending from the Revs, which is statuesque to say the least. Stood there waiting for somebody to take control. Solignac got far too much time to be able to roll it into a very, very dangerous position. Nikolic very, very grateful for the gift within the 6-yard box.
He's rapid. Let's see him go here on the left-hand side. He's looking to use his pace. Nikolic calling for it. Perfect ball in! That's what a calm can do. He's only been on the pitch a minute or so. And he just raced away from the Revs back line there. And an inch-perfect ball for Nikolic to play beyond Cody Cropper. And Chicago Fire have a third.
Going back to that locker room and see the guys happy and confident, and now feeling that we can win every single game, which wasn't the case in the past, that's something that motivates me more.
To the Western Conference now, where Vancouver played host to Cascadia Cup rival Seattle Sounders. In the Whitecaps lineup, a familiar face for the visitors, Freddie Montero enjoyed 4 years with the Sounders between 2009 and 2012, and he remains their all-time leading goal scorer. The Colombian would be aiming to add to his 1 MLS goal in Vancouver colors since joining the Canadian side in February. Here's Dave Farrar with the call.
Well, Seattle have started well here. Good positive running here from Clint Dempsey. Oh, and Dempsey goes for goal! Osted was beaten, and Clint Dempsey is so unlucky. Wonderful bit of skill. Towards Bolaños. It's a clever pass threaded forward, and it's Montero! Curled it around Chad Marshall. The angle was wrong, though, to find the top corner. There's Alonso. In space here is O'Neill Fisher. Time to pick his pass to Dempsey! Terrific save from Osted, then Ladero's follow-up is blocked. It's a personal battle between Clint Dempsey and David Osted. Bolaños. This is Teixeira. To tease in the cross to Montero. And against Seattle, it had to be him. The club he served with so much distinction, and he scores against them here. Elements in the game, these for Vancouver, and they just got better. Montero again. Kendall Waston with the header. And Montero there to turn it in. Vancouver heading for victory. Much better this from Seattle Sounders. Here goes Clint Dempsey once more. And that time Osted didn't get a hand to it. Rueful smile from Clint Dempsey. Swung in by Lodero, headed back by Dempsey. Oh, not a great punch from Osted. Roldan's header. Now Svensson trying to hook it back in. Here's Lodero once more. Great pressure now from Seattle. And Will Bruin gets one back. They are still in the game. This is going to be the last moment of the game, surely. Jovin Jones to play it in. Osted again wasn't certain and headed back down, and Osted fumbles. Kendall Waston gets it off the line, and there is the final whistle. Drama right until the end. Vancouver winning it by 2-1.
Yeah, super happy. Scored 2 goals in these kind of matches. It's always a dream for a forward, and today I'm super happy that the team did a good job.
Peter Vermeese's shutout specialists, Sporting Kansas City, were on the road at Western Conference leading Portland. The Timbers had scored 16 goals in 6 matches, but struggled to create chances in this one, and when they did, they failed to finish them. Sporting, on the other hand, were decisive. 8 minutes into the second half, the returning Benny Feilhaber fed Jimmy Medranda, whose driven cross was expertly headed in by Dom Dwyer, who made it 2 goals in as many games. Portland came close to an equalizer from Alvis Powell's looping header. Roger Espinoza's goal line clearance meant another frustrating moment for Timbers head coach Caleb Porter. Late in the game, Darlington Nabby produced what looked destined to be a memorable match-saving goal. The crossbar may have saved Sporting Kansas City, but it was only because of goalkeeper Tim Melia's initial deflection that they held on for the win. Dominic Kinnear's San Jose Earthquakes were winless in 3 and had 3 road games coming up, so there was some urgency at home with FC Dallas paying a visit to Avaya Stadium. Chris Wondolowski nearly gave them the lead in the 17th minute. Nick Lima's cross was overhit a bit, but Wando's elasticity sent it on frame. Dallas had their own near miss in the 27th minute. After taking advantage of some poor defending off a long throw-in, Christian Koman went around David Bingham only to find the goal post instead of the wide open net. The circus theme then continued at Avaya Stadium. Another Lima cross was met by Wondolowski. His mistimed header went sky high before it knocked off the crossbar, and Jamir Haika nearly gave the Quakes the lead. Gonzalez with another save. FC Dallas put on a show in the 78th minute. Maxi Urruti with some silky moves, and Kellen Acosta beat Bingham to make it 1-0. But just as FC Dallas prepared to celebrate a second road win of the season, San Jose snatched a point. Mere seconds from the final whistle, Jamir Haika pushed the ball across the line, sparking celebrations reminiscent of Goonies from days gone by. 1-1 the final, and the Earthquakes have some momentum going into their road trip. Of all the Week 7 matches, Houston's game at home against Minnesota looked, on paper at least, the easiest to predict. The Dynamo were perfect at BBVA Compass Stadium in 2017 and took only 14 minutes to set the scene as they sought a 4th home win this year. Mauro Manotas with his first goal of the season. Minnesota had yet to win on the road and could have found themselves down by 2 20 minutes later, had Albert Elise's header not been wiped out on an offside call. Replay suggested it might have been a lucky escape for the visitors. Elise would eventually get his shortly before the end of the first half. The flag stayed down this time, and to make things worse for Minnesota, goalkeeper Bobby Shuttleworth was injured on the play and had to be replaced. Halftime apparently did the Loons well, though, because they stunned the home crowd by pulling a goal back just 2 minutes after the break. Christian Ramirez with his 5th goal in 7 games. Then, in the 59th minute, Minnesota made sure they got something out of their trip to South Texas when Johan Venegas came streaking in to clean up the mess and tie the game at 2-2. With 6 goals in 5 games before this match, Cubo Torres could have won it for Houston in the 82nd. But for coach Wilmer Cabrera and company, it was their first points dropped at home this year. First Rocky Mountain Cup match of the year, and Real Salt Lake went to Pablo Mastroeni's Colorado full of confidence after winning their first match of the season last week. Still a lot of work to do for new head coach Mike Petke, but RSL looks like a team moving in the right direction. The Rapids have started the season slowly, but began well here, Kevin Doyle drawing a good save out of Nick Raimondo. Doyle would soon find his way past Raimondo about a half hour in. Marlon Hairston sprinting down the left flank, providing the perfect cross, and Doyle launching himself at it to give Colorado the lead. The Rapids held on to their lead until late in the match, when a seemingly routine game took an extraordinary turn. Luis Silva's header hit the bar, and Chris Wingert's follow-up was handled by Jared Watts. A red card for the defender, and an unexpected chance to tie things up for RSL. Durham Obsessian grabbed his 4th of the season from the penalty spot. Petke breathed a sigh of relief, and then his team showed they weren't content with the draw. 88th minute, Brooks Lennon producing a weaving run and an excellent finish for his first ever MLS goal, completing the comeback for RSL. Mike Petke now 2-0 at the helm for Real Salt Lake. So RSL are into a playoff position in the Western Conference following consecutive wins. Sporting Kansas City's victory in Portland has cut the Timbers' advantage at the top to a single point. They also have a game in hand on the leaders. Columbus Crew stay on top of the Eastern Conference after their comeback against Toronto, while Orlando strengthened their position in second. Chicago Fire move into third, just ahead of both New York clubs. Philadelphia remained dead last. Saving the best for last, 4 goals over the weekend came in the 90th minute or later. And they were worth the wait. Can't wait to see what next week brings. Until then, goodbye.
Villa won that chase and goes for goal. Oh, I say he's done it! Well, I've seen it, but I don't believe it.
This copyrighted telecast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.